Everybody, Greener Man back here. If you remember, well, you will remember because you're probably going to edit it together, but there's got the clutch squealing on the Zara Picasso. So as you can see, I've had lots of joy removing the gearbox, which is there now. Excuse the mess. I'm actually in the barn doors here, and last night when I was doing this, all hell broke loose, the heavens opened, winds picked up, and it was just driving rain, so I had to close the doors in around me. So that's why you'll see all the tools and everything shoved in that sort of fashion. I had to put a sheet over the hoist because the doors obviously wouldn't shut overnight, to protect that from the weather. So that was all a good find when it was dark. Right, so as you can see there, I've got the hoist holding the engine up. I've got the gearbox out. Major ball ache, really, that, to put it mildly. Not having done it before, well, it was a bit of a job. I took this piece off, which I don't think I should have done, because a nailed plastic drive came out that goes up to the speedo, I think, or the speed sensor or something like that. Anyway, so I've got to put that back in, and as you can see, there was a screeching coming from this, and it's mainly because the bearing is in a very bad way, or pretty much non-existent way, because that's like the in a bearing race, I think. Yeah. So the shaft looks okay, and the arm I think is okay. So hopefully we'll be all right. I'm going to clean that up. The kit I'm using to put back in, I don't know much about these sort of things, but LUK apparently are a decent make. I think they used original equipment in a lot of makes of cars, and it's a kit with pressure plate. There's an option to have a new arm hydraulic cylinder in for, I think it's an extra €10 or something like that, so I thought, well, I'll get that while I'm doing it anyway, just in case I find something to miss with the other one. Got the new bearing. These things look like plastic, don't they? I mean, I don't know how good they are, but anyway, so pressure plate, and then underneath you can see clutch plate. So I'm going to clean this up, put the bearing in there. I can't see a great deal of oil in the bottom, but I don't know if there is some there, but there's no marks running down from the seal, so I think that seal's alright. And then I've got to obviously check the pressure, yeah, inside the car when I take the clutch off. I've got to check the other plate in there for any marks and heating. I've just been scratching around trying to find information on this particular car, really, and putting it together. There was a good fella who did a good example of this car and other cars, a mobile mechanic. I'll give you the link to his videos. It was really good, actually. He did about a 40-minute video doing this job, taking it out and putting it back, and it was quite detailed. He did miss a couple of things off that I encountered here, because I thought, well, why isn't the gearbox coming out, and there was things attached that shouldn't have been. And really, yeah, it's a big job. Whether it'll ever work again, who knows, but we'll see when we try and put it back together. So first job is get the clutch and the bearing sorted out, and then we'll look at putting it back in. See you later. Okay, so we've took out the old clutch friction plate. There's the new one next to it. As a comparison with the linings, There is a bit of wear on the old one, but not huge amounts. I've had the car for 6 years, done quite a lot of miles in it. I've never done the clutch, but interestingly enough, I've noticed that the brand on it is, and it focuses, LUK. LUK. And the new one I bought happens to be, which doesn't focus, LUK. So that's good. I'm just going to look at get rid of the old one. Throw it out there. Just looking at putting the friction plate back in. And there's lots and lots of information about this all over the internet, all over YouTube, about centralising your friction plate when you're fixing it in. I've cleaned up that with some brake cleaner. Looks pretty good. The car's an old girl anyway, so I wouldn't like to spend a great deal of money on that. I think that we're going to take a chance and see how it goes. So to locate the friction plate, which is labelled gearbox side, nothing, so it goes that way around. Sorry, it goes that way around. There's me getting it wrong. So to locate this in the centre of that, what everybody seems to do is you can buy tools, or sometimes in a kit you get tools, or you can just use an extension bar and a socket set that fits tight in the middle of that. If I press it centrally, that does locate alright. I'm happy with that. I'll put some tape around where the friction disc is going to go, and so then what we do is put a socket in the centre of the friction disc and offer it up, and then when I press that into the centre, friction disc is in, and it's got a uniform gap all the way around it. You can't see it because of lighting, but it has. So I'm happy with that. And then what we do is put the pressure plate up over that. Well, I need 2 hands for it, and tighten it up. It fits onto there's 3 lugs, 1, 2, 1 up there and 1 here. Give them a bit of a clean to make sure there's no crud that's going to stop it going on. I'll put them on, put it back with the same bolts, and I'm going to torque it up with the torque wrench to make sure it's all tight. So I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, so I ended up putting the clutch plate, friction plate on with the locating tool. The made locating tool, as you can see, it looks pretty, it's pretty central. That as you can see, there's 6 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around the outside. I've torqued those on this model 2 litre, it's a diesel engine. The torque setting is 20 Newton meters or 15 foot-pounds, I think it is. So I've fastened those up to that. It's picked up on the locating little dowels there, and it's tight up against the face. So now the time has come for me to reinsert the gearbox. Wish me luck. I'm not going to video this because it's going to be a complete sham. It'll take forever, and the lighting's not that great under here anyway. So I'll come back to you shortly. But look at all the bits I've had to take off. It's just unbelievable, the stuff you've got to disconnect. Unbelievable. If these guys do this for a living, they earn the money. Alright then, come back to you shortly.